Well, I've been working on a few things over the last couple of weeks that are a little more experimental in nature, meaning well, they're spec pieces. Working with things like car panels, something like that. It's also been stuff like this agate slice, and you know, this thing's fragile. It scares me to death. But I've got another product that I wanted to try today, and while we're working on that, I wanted to talk about. My friend Jen Pepper is a fellow stationer, and she was asking about, you know, I'm creating some of these pieces. What happens if a client comes to me and asks for me to recreate this? I thought that was a really insightful question because when I started this business, I was not at all interested in repeating myself. Wanted to create things once every time, and I still value that pretty highly. But the reality is, that doesn't work all the time. Now, if you're my client and we craft something together, I respect the fact that that particular thing is something you and I crafted together. It's as much a part of you as it is me. That said, I don't think that extends to like particular production techniques or particular materials. It's the combinations of those things and the design all together that makes something unique to you. Say that agate invitation was for a particular client. I would not do another one that was laid out like that, using those words, using that color of agate, that format for another client. I would still use agate, and I'd still consider cutting it with a water jet and engraving it with a laser engraver. All of those things are on the table. That particular design, though, belongs to that client. That said, this piece isn't for any particular client. It's to show off, well, it's for the sake of experimentation. Because of that, if a client wants to do that, I'm all in, let's do it. I believe that the type of work that I do, because it's incredibly labor intensive from a conceptual standpoint as well as a production standpoint. When we craft something like this, it's a piece of art for you, for the client. And as such, I'm not going to recreate this work for someone else. So if you've seen something in my portfolio you love, that's awesome. Come to me and help me do for you what I did for that client. Which is not to say make that specific thing for you with that format, but to draw out of my clients and their relationships with the people they're giving the stationery to draw out of them what makes that relationship unique, what makes them unique, and how we can express that in stationery. If you see something you like, that's cool, but we can do so much better than that. That said, I don't believe in exclusivity for a project that I'm doing for myself, only for projects I do for other clients. Exclusivity doesn't mean we can't draw heavily on inspiration. It just means we're not going to repeat something you've already seen. If you ask me to do that, you're hiring me to do something that is not what I do best. Well, because what I do best is make you the best possible stationery. And I can't do that if you already know exactly what you want. just like I was worried about, when I dropped that die, it damaged it a little bit. So I'm not quite able to tell if it's printing well or not. I'm gonna switch out the die. I was kind of excited about just having my logo in there, but we'll use something else. That didn't go as planned at all. It's not acceptable. There's some density issues in here that are making it really hard to, I can't get to the softest thing, like I can't bottom it out enough without the foil spreading. So I'm gonna do some more research, see if other people are foiling successfully. My gut says foiling is not the right move on, yeah, I don't think foiling is the right move on this. I think there are other better options. It's worth a shot, eh? Well, crap. This was not what I was hoping for, but there's always something to be learned from experiments like this. Now I know one way that doesn't work. If you have ever foil stamped on carbon fiber before, leave a note in the comments if you don't mind. Let me know what worked for you. My gut is it's the fluctuating densities of the weave in here. You know, essentially it's a fabric, and you know, foil stamping is it's finicky to kind of consistent density of the substrate and being able to kind of get to the bottom of squishing that thing out so you can get good coverage everywhere. And I'm not achieving it here. It is what it is. We'll see other ways we can do production on carbon fiber. You know, sometimes things just don't work out. Hey, I wanted to show you something. It came today. This has been a year in the making. I cannot tell you how excited I am about this. Well, let me start by showing you. This book is called Big Day. It's published by a company called Viction. Victionary is kind of how I knew him, but I think Viction is the actual name of the publishing house. Viction Workshop Limited. And anyway, they had approached me, I want to say it was easily a year ago at this point. It's the end of May now, and it was like early May of 2017, about being in this book. And the thing is, you know, it was a company in Hong Kong that contacted me that I had never heard of, and I just wasn't entirely, you know, there was a little bit of a language barrier there. Obviously they spoke better English than I do any other language, but I just wasn't entirely sure what they were looking for, and I was a little wary about it. I didn't know. And then they mentioned that Allison and Brian, they used to be known as VLD Events. Now they're Allison and Brian. They're incredible destination wedding planners based out of California. They said they were involved, and I know their reputation well. I have nothing but respect for them. I actually was just talking to Allison earlier this week about how much I love the work that they do. And you know, like those things tend to do, name dropping worked, and I knew that it was a legitimate thing. And so I sent in some photographs and talked a little bit about some projects, and lo and behold, almost a year to the date later, this shows up, and I cannot wait to show you. Check this out. Let me show you. Can't begin to tell you how excited this whole thing makes me. It's actually already led to something I can't share quite yet. Hopefully sometime in June I can share it, but an opportunity that came about specifically, I think, because of this book. I don't know for sure. When I tell you about it, it's pretty obvious that's where it came from. I'll see you next time. Until then, if you like this video, hit like and make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you later.